What is going on, people? It's Matt from LiquidLoans. In this video, I'm very excited to have one of the infamous queens of Hexico. You may have seen her before on the DS Syndicate, on the Discourse Syndicate channel. Today, we're going to find out about her backstory, and of course, talk PulseChain, the imminent PulseChain launch. So with no further ado, let me bring up the one, the only, Miss Hexpensive Taste.
The infamous Hexpensive Taste is here. Thank you
Thank you
so
for bearing
much.
with me. How are you doing? Great to see you.
Oh, I'm doing really good. How about you?
Fantastic, fantastic. I've really enjoyed your short kind of tutorials you've been doing on the Discourse Syndicate channel. I'm sure you've helped a lot of noobs get into the space and not make mistakes. So well done for that.
Oh, thank you. That's kind of my angle, the female demographic and the people that do not have any crypto background or knowledge. I try to gear it towards them because that is literally me. So try to make it as simple as possible. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
No, I really appreciate it. And I appreciate your time for coming on. For the people watching at home who don't know who you are, maybe we could get a little bio and background about you and how you got into crypto and Hex and all that good stuff.
Sure. I'm Hexpensive Taste, and I just celebrated my 1-year crypto anniversary. Literally
Awesome.
last May, I got into crypto for the first time. I had never bought anything and I had no background. A former boss turned me on to Hex, said that he really believed in the project and that I should, buy some. So I did that. And then from there, I started to kind of watch some YouTube videos and found out the community was largely based on Twitter. So I got on Twitter and created my alter ego, Hexpensive Taste. And from there, I was approached by Discourse Syndicate to start making some tutorial videos, which was totally awesome. I love them. They've been so supportive, and I would literally message them all the time asking the most basic questions, and they've done nothing but help me out, help me better understand it so that I can ultimately bring content to help other people understand it better. And that's kind of been my journey. Went through a few sacrifice phases. I thought it was crazy that you could buy something and then it appreciates so much, and then someone convinced you just to send it all back. I was like, wait, I even got to experience these games and now we're sending it all back. But yeah, it's been crazy. And there's so many exciting things on the forefront. And just to kind of go through this for the first time and experience it all has been unreal.
Well, happy first anniversary. It is crazy how fast things move, right? Like you just get into crypto and the next thing you're in sacrifice phases and now you're
Yeah.
streaming with people. I mean, it
I was
moves
like,
so fast.
sacrifice, and there's no promise. We're not gonna, we can't expect, anything from the work of others. I was like, this is crazy, but
Yeah.
full send. We're gonna do it and see what happens. So I just can't believe it. And 14 days or less. So it feels like this time it really is close. Because when I bought Hex, people were telling me that next month is gonna be the PulseChain launch. So like when I onboarded other people, I kept saying, it's right around the corner. And now everyone's like, like, don't even call me anymore. You don't know. But now it really is right around the corner. So I'm super excited.
It used to be 4 more weeks. Now it's 2 more weeks. Hopefully it's really 2 more weeks, right?
Oh, gosh, I hope so. I don't even know what to expect, but I'm so excited.
So do you believe, because did you watch the stream yesterday with WonDeFi?
I did watch a little bit of it. I was at work and I meant to come home and finish it, but I caught the twerking and I did catch a few things. But yeah, it was good. Do what?
You got the most important part.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
It was honestly better than I could do. Even though it was funny, I was like, it's actually probably better than me, but whatever.
Twerking in a Burberry all-in-one. You don't see that every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did drop some nuggets. He said around 2 weeks. And it's been 4 more weeks for a long time. And now it really does seem close because obviously a lot of the loose ends seem to have been tied up.
For sure. I think I heard someone clip, he did like confirm 14 days or less. So I was like, okay, what's today's date? Until we have till the 24th? Perfect.
Or less. I mean, do you think any Hexicans are going to get a good night's sleep over the next 14 days? Like,
I don't think so. I already see people posting like they're going to take the week off and all kinds of crazy stuff. So luckily, where I work, a lot of the people are invested in Hex and PulseChain. So I know that we can celebrate together. So I don't have to be at work and like hide it that I'm like constantly on Twitter or Stake or whatever. Like we can be open about it and not really get any work done, but everyone's excited. So
not get work done, but then hopefully watch your bags increase so you're making money, even though you're
not I'm writing my resignation letter right now, actually.
That's so cool. You're working with a lot of people that have sacrificed. That's really, really cool.
For sure.
So what are you most excited about when PulseChain? I mean, obviously the PulseChain, the blockchain itself. Is there anything else that you're super excited about when it goes live?
I don't even know what to be excited about because there's so many just news to me and so many variables that I probably don't even understand or know what to expect yet. But I'm just excited to kind of be like, in this pre-launch and to get to experience a lot of the things that like the OG Hexicans got to do from being there, from the very beginning, and just like watch this crazy growth like over this short amount of time, and to like kind of feel like I'm a, an OG Pulsecan because I got to be in at the beginning and watch that. But I'm also excited just to see like a lot of other projects and things coming out that didn't really make it on the Ethereum blockchain just because of the crazy fees. And there's like so many dApps and things that I think can really do well, which is ultimately just helping everybody in the Pulse, ecosystem. So I'm just excited to see the adoption from like everybody else too, because I'm obviously super entrenched in the Hexican community, and like my whole Twitter is just filled with Hex people, so I'm excited to see like the other people that maybe weren't, pro Hex or whatever, like start to utilize it and maybe eventually bring them on board to Hex too. So
yeah, it's super exciting because every week a new project comes out that's building on there, and there's loads behind the scenes that we don't even know about that are going to be
for
building. And more.
sure. Yeah,
So
I've seen a few mentioned that just seem really cool, but I don't know enough about it to really, talk intelligently about these new projects that are coming out. But when I see other people that are really knowledgeable that I respect in the community, and they're getting excited and talking about these different things, it just creates excitement in me, because I'm like, if they're excited about it, I'm excited about it because I know this is going to do well.
yeah, there's lots of pent up energy too, right? Because like you said, back in, was it July or August last year, you're telling people like I was, like, listen, it's around the corner, it's a couple of weeks, it's
Yeah.
4 weeks, it's 2 weeks. And obviously it's been nearly a year. So it's just like a pressure cooker that's just,
Yeah.
and obviously more people got into the Pulse X sack because they didn't get into the PulseChain sack. And
That was
there's
really crazy to see,
mm,
like to see just how many more people were involved. Because then I feel like, wow, like so much was built up just in that short amount of time between the two SAC phases, that so many more people are getting involved. And that ultimately just creates so much more excitement with me, because it's just like all these people are excited about it. And it's just crazy. And I see people, throw out terms like, you're witnessing something of crypto history that's never happened, and like you're going to the forefront of this revolution. And I'm just, yeah, I am. This is awesome. Like, I don't know. I'm just really excited about it.
the energy is infectious. It is when you see people talking about that. And I saw my boy Jenkins, he does TA, and he posted something earlier, and he was like, we're going to look back at these pre-PulseChain days. They're going to go down in history, probably all the goods and the bads, the infighting, the highs,
Oh my gosh,
the
yeah, the
all-time
fighting.
highs and stuff. So I think that's going to be, maybe in a year or two, we'll be like, oh, what, you guys were in the PulseChain sack? That's legendary. I think it's
For
definitely going to go
sure.
down.
Yeah, I mean, I have friends that like talked about Bitcoin, however long ago when it first came out, and it was just like so foreign to me. I was like, whatever. And now I'm like, damn, if I just would have listened to them back in the
Yeah.
day. And like now I'm literally telling anybody that'll listen to me about everything that's going on now, and most of them are like, whatever. So, they'll be calling me in a decade, hey, you want to come on your boat? I'm just kidding.
Hey, can we use the private jet? Is it, this weekend?
Right? I know. So it's
So what's going
crazy.
to be your strategy for PulseChain though? Like, have you got a pre-fork or a post-fork strategy?
I don't really know, because obviously I watch all the streams and I see kind of what everyone else's is. Luckily I did, SAC for everything. So I feel like I'm in a good spot. I don't really know, I guess. Mine's more of like err on the side of caution. So I'm just going to sit back and watch, see what everyone else is doing. I feel good about what I have, and just kind of, I guess, play it by ear. I mean, as soon as someone that I respect like says, this is the best strategy ever, like who's to say that I won't do that? But I'm just kind of more like sit back, watch, take it all in, and just kind of as it unfolds, figure it out, because I don't feel like I really have enough experience to even know what's going to be the best play. But I'm happy with where I'm at right now with everything. So I don't feel like I have a huge rush to do anything right away.
I think that's a good strategy. I had Randy Halarski, Jesse, and Brandon from Rags to Riches on Friday, and we had like a pre-launch kind of strategy session talking about what they're going to do when mainnet goes live. And the common thread was, don't try and get too cute, right? If you don't know what you're doing, you could lose a lot. And of course, there's going to be all these shiny new things. And there's liquidity providing and yield farming and staking and all this stuff, but probably hodling for most people is going to be a very good idea. And then obviously you can delegate your your stuff to validators and what's not. But yeah, I think that's a good idea, because if you're still, if you're still not completely sure how everything works, especially liquidity providing, because if the thing moves against you, if the market moves very fast, you can have impermanent loss and stuff like that. So
For sure.
it's going to
Yeah,
be some
I'm
hard
with
work.
all the newbie people. Yeah, we can just sit back, chill, see what else working for everyone else, and then we can decide. I mean, there's no rush for me. So
Mm.
yeah, not the best one to ask, but I'm just going to chill, stake and
Yeah.
chill. It's already have my stake text. I'm just going to, see what happens.
Nice. So you're going to, I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? We forget that we're going to get a duplicate of all of our hex.
I know, it's literally insane. And I see people
Yeah.
saying like, there's a good chance it's going to reach parity, or maybe there's a chance that there will be a big drop on the Ethereum side just because of the fees are so crazy. So interested to see, but I'm like almost completely staked. So it's not like I'm gonna be able to sell it anyway. So I'm just gonna, see what happens. But, I'm hoping that, I mean, if it just all goes over to PHEX and that one skyrockets, I'm totally fine with that too.
Yeah, I mean, even if we have a bit of a drop on eHex, right? It's the same code, and there's lots of people staked out for many years on eHex. So I
For
doubt
sure.
any of those people are going to be hitting the emergency stake button, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see. Time will tell, but it's going to be super, super interesting. I mean, it's just never been done before. I keep forgetting about the double of Hex, and then obviously Richard was hammering it home to WonDeFi last night. Like, this is a full system state copy, and she didn't really get it. She was like, "Oh, okay. Like, is it a layer 2 and stuff? And what's going to happen if Ethereum goes down?" And he's like, "No, it's his own blockchain. Everything's being copied." And I don't know, like, when the
Yeah,
penny's going to drop for these people, but it's just it's going to be bananas because it's never been done before.
I know. When I finally started to understand blockchains and how they work and just all the things built on one, I'm like, how can you just fork one? Like how can you just, I'm just gonna copy this and just make this exact, the whole thing was so insane to me. But I'm glad that there are minds in place that can figure that out, because it's gonna be great for all of us. But the whole thing was just like, it was way beyond my comprehension level. I'm just now starting to get it. But yeah, it's just crazy that someone can even do that. And then they're like, well, what if PulseChain gets utilized so much that down the road, like its fees are high and it's crazy? Well, I'll just fork it again. I'm like, okay, just keep forking.
Yeah, I mean, just give us extra copies all the time, right? We'll take another hex, a third hex, and
For
a
sure.
copy
I'll
of our
take
pulse
all the
chain and
hex.
pulse hex.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's so many things to it. Of course, you've got the fact that it's a EVM compatible blockchain, which is a fork of Ethereum, and you've got faster block times, you've got cheap fees. Like, literally, you can trade in there for free. You can go to, I think it's freepulse.io every day and get one free pulse per address, and that will give you, hundreds, if not thousands, of transactions on the network. And of course, over time, that will increase due to the amount of people using it. But that's attractive enough as it is. But then the copies, I don't think anybody understands how good that is. Now, of course, Hex is going to be more, in my opinion, more valuable at first because, Hexicans are going to be the biggest community over there.
For sure.
But who knows over time with SHIB and with these other ERC20s that are just getting hammered, right? And especially the NFTs as well. What do you think about NFTs? Do you think they're going to come straight over? All the guys are going to start rushing over to PulseChain?
Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know how I even feel about NFTs. I don't think I understand them enough to really talk intelligently about them. I know that, Richard has said some things about him, but a lot of people in the community are for him, to be able to go to a new chain and like be able to transact and do all these things. And I know a lot of people have made a lot of money, but I personally don't know a lot about NFTs, but the more the merrier. Bring everyone to PulseChain. So bring them on. I hope they do.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not an NFT guy, but if it's going to bring adoption to PulseChain, let's bring it over. I definitely don't like that maxi attitude where they're like, we just want like hexagons over here and stuff because we don't want just to be rattling around on our own chain. We want NFTs, we want projects. Unfortunately, there's going to be scammy projects, just like Binance Smart Chain. Binance Smart Chain is a fork of Ethereum, and a lot of it's open source code, so anyone can just pop up and create their own coin and project. And unfortunately, that will happen on PulseChain. But you have to, you kind of just like as you grow up, right? You have to get a bit more streetwise. You have to do that in crypto. You have to look at stuff and not just ape into anything. And because it's easy to lose a lot of money. So yeah,
for sure. Yeah, there's so many. I mean, even when I was sacrificing, I would, go to the website, go to the Twitter, like just verify across multiple platforms to make sure that this is the right one. Even though I already knew it was the right one, I just want to make sure, because that's the last thing you want to do is send money somewhere and never see it again. But yeah, totally being cautious about that.
When you get into crypto, I think that's a good mindset. You have to be like, you have to check the wallet address like 10 times and you keep going back and forth. And like you said, I did the same thing with the PulseChain sacrifice. I sacrificed, I think, over 3 or 4 separate days. But every day I'd recheck the address just to make sure and quadruple check, because it's not like the bank where you're like, oh, sorry, I just wired money to the wrong account. Can you get it back?
For sure.
So yeah, it's good to come in with that over paranoia, because so many people come in just thinking up, being a bit laissez-faire, a bit blasé, and then they end up giving a C phrase to someone or sending the money, and then they're like, "Oh, can you send that back to me?" It's like, no,
Yeah,
it's
there's
gone.
really no one to call. Yeah,
Yeah, it
totally.
it is a bit of a it's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is you are your own bank. The bad thing is you are your own bank. So you need to take security seriously, and yeah, have a hardware wallet. Double check the address that you're either sacrificing to, if it was a sacrifice phase, or sending stuff to.
For sure.
At the moment, we're going through a choppy time in the markets. I'm not sure if you've seen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Like I said, I'm at least mostly staked, so I'm not worried about my Hex, but I just see all the Twitter of everything that's crashing, the
mm,
Lunas, the Bitcoins, everything. And I'm just like, Hex unaffected, but yeah, it's crazy out there. And if we can launch PulseChain now and it starts going up, then we're gonna be looking like a diamond out there.
yeah. I mean, if it launches the next 2 weeks, which fingers crossed. I mean, it could probably come at a better time, right?
For
Everything's in
sure.
chaos. We've had obviously Bitcoin's in a dip, and then the Luna thing dragged it down, and I mean that's a complete mess in itself. But as Richard likes to say, Hex is the shining light on the hill. PulseChain really could be, right? This
Oh,
new EVM
absolutely.
blockchain comes out and just shows everyone how it's done. So
Yeah, I would
yeah,
love it.
it's crazy what's been going on with Luna, and obviously the way they've backed their stable coin, and then obviously buying Bitcoin to back it. And it's just, it just shows you how you want to be in true DeFi, because when you have all the centralization, things can go wrong. And obviously I feel sorry for anyone in Luna, or anyone who had UST. I don't really like the Hexicans or whoever's been like goading people on Twitter, because it's not fun. A lot of people have lost a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is kind of sad to see, and I just stay out of all of it, but it's just
Mm.
crazy. I mean, like I said, I'm still new to this, so I'm still learning everything that's going on, but yeah, I can't imagine you all of a sudden look up and all your money's gone.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, stable coins and obviously cryptocurrencies, stable coins have lost their peg before and they're recovered, and obviously cryptos have dropped 80-90%, they've recovered. And I saw Richard tweeted out earlier, like saying something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing here, but something along the lines of, listen guys, I feel for you, but the bull market will return, and just basically hodl through. The worst thing you can do is obviously sell an 80-90% dip, because not
For
only have you
sure.
lost 80 or 90% of your money, but you're never going to get any more price appreciation.
For sure.
So yeah, it's crypto's brutal, right? Those bear markets are brutal, 80-90% drops, where you just don't see that in other asset classes. But then again, obviously on the flip side, that volatility goes both ways, and you can see these insane run-ups.
Yeah,
So
for sure. And I just always, when I was getting into it in the beginning, just put in money that I was like, if I never see this again, it's fine. Obviously that's not what I want to happen, but obviously never invest more than you can afford to lose. But I do feel like once it starts going up, I start to feel like that is my money. So when it goes back down, it's like, even though I only put X amount in the beginning, like I was kind of getting used to all that extra money I had. But I think as long as you always just invest what you can afford to say bye to, then you'll be fine.
that's a good stoic mindset, because let's be honest, unless you're a robot, who isn't going to get emotional when they see a 5x, a 10x, a 100x of their money, 1000x?
Right.
So to have that in place, and actually going back to when I asked you, like, what's your plan for mainnet, I think that's good that you're just going to sit back and watch, and because everyone needs a plan, even if it's just, I'm going to watch the fireworks and just with some popcorn and watch the chart for the first week. Otherwise, you try and get too cute, or something, some dog coin comes out and you think this is the next thing. Maybe I'll put some pulse in that, and then that'll pump, and then I'll put it back into pulse. And, it sounds good in theory. But as we know, trading gets most people wrecked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good to
Yeah.
have that
I'm not a
mindset.
trader and I don't plan on doing anything like that. But anyone that's going to make those risky moves, I wish you the best, but it's not going to be this girl.
It's too stressful. Like, it really is too stressful. And of course, don't get me wrong, obviously dips, even if you're staked in Hex, you're like, oh God, I'm down 50% or 80% or whatever. That's not nice. But when you're trading and you're leverage trading, I'm guilty of doing that in the beginning. And it's just, you can't relax. You're looking at your phone the whole time. And it's the opposite of being happy, right? You want
Yeah.
to invest to have financial freedom, to spend more time with your family and friends. And you're looking down at your phone, worrying about being liquidated. Like, yeah, It's not cool.
Yeah,
It's not
I
good
don't
at
like
all.
to be stressful. It's already stressful enough, so I don't want any added stress for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Life is stressful enough as it is, just, work and bills and getting everything sorted. And when I came across Richard Hart, probably like you did, he starts talking about don't trade, you get wrecked. Holders and long-term holders do the best. And yeah, I mean, I think it's even if I don't think you can, I think you get wrecked if you trade too often. But even if you could make a little bit more, or even maybe 50% more, I'd still rather just, find good protocols like Hex, like PulseChain, like LiquidLoans, where you can stake and then earn yield and enjoy your life, because
For
life's not all
sure. I
about
mean,
money.
just setting up that passive income. Like I never really thought about it till I got into crypto and then just have the opportunity to do that. I mean, it really takes a lot of the stress out of it just to know that my money is making money, regardless of the price appreciation or depreciation or whatever. At least I'm
Mm.
still getting more, and over a long period of time, it's going to end up working out better for me.
100%, 100%. So obviously your Hex is going to be staked, and you're staked on ETH. You're going to be staked when you get your duplicate. What about your Pulse and your Pulse X? Have you got any plans for that?
Once again, I think I'm just going to sit back and wait. Obviously we're going to talk about LiquidLoans here. And, if I want to be able to take some, borrow some of that, I'm interested in doing that. And I've been watching a little bit of the haunted and hodl strategies and some of those type things and the feedback loops and all of that, which even though I'm not super well versed in it yet, I'm just considering, all of the options that I have and just seeing. I probably just play around with a small part of my bag and do these different things, just see kind of what's working. I know a lot of it depends on like what's going on with the market and just, I don't know enough about the market to really, I'm just going to put it out there to see, okay, this one seems to be doing better than this one and just kind of play it that way. But
yeah, what's good with those strategies are they're all a bit different, right? So you have the haunted strategy, which is like super safe, 1,000% collateral ratio. And that's obviously going to work great in a bull market, because every time it goes up, you mint yourself some more USDL and you go and buy Pulse and put it back into your vault. Then you have hodl strategy, then you have Hexicats, and they're all different for different times, right? So depending on what's going on, is the market going sideways? Is the market looking bearish? You can do that. Obviously, LiquidLoans is great because you don't ever have to sell. So selling is great, especially in a profit, because obviously you've made money and stuff, but then obviously you lose any more future price appreciation of those coins. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. Play around with a bit of it and see how you do, and just find out how things work.
for sure. Yeah, that's totally my game plan. I mean, when I first heard about LiquidLoans, like I literally was just like, oh, awesome. I don't ever have to sell my Pulse asset and I don't have to worry about the immediate, tax implications of this. I can just borrow some. And I didn't really look deeper to like the other features of it until I started diving in more and really learning about the other options and the things you can do. And I think what is it, Jexa has like all the has a good video with you about like all the different ways that all these things can work together and kind of just like everything pump by doing it like all these different ways. And I thought that was really cool because obviously I want to pump our bags anywhere we can, and I thought that was cool. So just getting more into learning about more than just the borrowing aspect of it, like all these other things you can do is a really cool feature of it. So I'm excited to test that out.
Yeah, Jex is the man, right? His content's great, and his videos, he's really methodical. He goes through things and breaks them down really simply. And of course, LiquidLoans is a borrowing lending protocol, but there's more to it. You can be a stability provider, you can get the loan token and stake that and collect fees from the system. And the video that really stood out for me on his channel is, maybe you've seen it, is the WonDeFi, where he says if you hold, the loan token, you hold a Hex, the savings account, you hold PulseX, the exchange, and you hold Pulse, which is obviously the substrate, the blockchain itself. Every time someone's using these things, you're collecting. You're making more money, and obviously from the buy and burn or from the loan token staking. It's super interesting.
Yeah, it is really cool that like, there's this whole system that works together and does all these different things. And yeah, I want to make sure that I'm involved in all parts of it. I want to be, doing as much as I can for all of it. And, I'm excited. I was a little bit like, I wasn't sure how the LiquidLoans thing was going to work because I'm really like cautious, and obviously coming from like not really a crypto background, only being here a year, I really want to like, practice safety and do the things to the best I can for like all of the users. And I feel like a lot of new people come to me with, some of their basic questions because they don't feel comfortable, like, asking a lot of people that have been in this a long time. So, I just try to make sure that I understand it in a way that's going to be safe for everyone. Like, obviously, I want the most gains, but I obviously don't want to get liquidated or anything like that. So definitely am on board with like the 1,000% collateralization. I mean, that's to me a good way to stay safe, because I think it'd have to do like what, like an 89% dip for you to be liquidated on something like that. I did have a question. I know there's like, obviously the feature, like you can liquidate when someone gets in that like danger zone. Is there any way that like bots are going to be created to like do that if there was like a crazy spike? Because I know the dips are going to more gradually go down, right? Like Hex's 70 something percent dip took a couple months, but like I always just want to be safe. I want to find out how I can make the most gains with the littlest risk.
So your question is, will there be bots that are going to be hitting that liquidation button for the risky accounts?
Yeah. Is there a way that that's going to be able to like be set up? Even though it's probably going to be rare that if you're that much collateralized that you would ever have to worry about that dip, like on a spike, if you're not monitoring it, that could be a risk to you. But
yes, I mean, it's open source software. So at some point, I'm sure some coders are going to, create some bots that can go around and find vaults that are below 110%. How you avoid that is don't let your account ever get close to 110%.
So yeah, and I totally agree with that. And I think for the most part, if you're doing like the 1,000% or whatever, like obviously it would be really rare that you'd have to worry about that. In a question like with the haunted strategy, where you're just taking the USDL, buying more Pulse, doing it, it appreciates, pull it out, and just keep going in that circle. It's still one like loan, right? So if it were to get to a certain like percent, it's not just off the initial one, it's off like whatever it's at with all of them combined.
Yes. So let's say you took a loan. I think the haunted strategy, he starts
like 20,000, 2,000. Yeah.
So yeah, it's obviously you've got one vault per address, and obviously you can add more collateral. You can mint yourself some more stable coin depending on how much collateral you have. It's all one loan.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I still don't even know what questions I have because I don't even know what I don't know, right? I'm just trying to learn everything and just figure out the best game plan, and just want to keep everyone safe, but also utilize like all these amazing features that we're going to have and be able to make passive income like all these different ways. I think that's so awesome. My next question was, do you have a guess on like when PulseChain launches, like when LiquidLoans will be live?
Yeah, so aiming to be around a month to 2 months, depending on what's going on. But again, everything's dependent, obviously, mainnet coming out.
Right.
And we're not going to launch straight away because the market's going to be very choppy. Obviously, we need to have our audits done and everything, have all our ducks in a row. So it's, again, I'm doing a Richard Hart here, but it's software.
This sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's software. We can't put any hard dates. I'd say between a month or 2 months.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. But
yeah, no, I'm super excited about that.
What we need to stress here is that this can't be done again, right? This is immutable code.
For sure.
Once we push the button, we can't be like, oh, hang on, stop. We need
Hold
to go
on, I
back
messed something up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So everything needs to be done. All the audits signed off, two audits. And when that's done, and obviously, when the team thinks it's the right time to launch, then we'll do it. But of course, I think Christian's come out and said it quite a lot, who's the CEO of LiquidLoans. We're not going to go right the way anyway, even if we could, because the market's going to be very choppy at the beginning.
No, I think that's a great idea. And I know you guys know what you're doing. I just, I'm impatient and I just want to know when stuff is happening and when I need to be ready.
Join the club.
What?
I mean, join the club. I'm as impatient as you, right? I wanted LiquidLoans. I wanted PulseChain like last year, and I wanted LiquidLoans last year, right? We all did. But and that's the kind of like the monkey mind. Just let's have it now and let's enjoy it.
I know we want it to be perfect. I don't want problems later. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little impatient, but I'm definitely excited to just take advantage of all these things that we're gonna have right here. And this is awesome.
Exactly. And I think you're doing it the right way. Like, you're learning step by step. And like you said, you're not going to go in there with your whole bag. You're going to do a little bit first and see how it works. And I think that's exactly how you listen. In life, experience is the best teacher anyway, right? Like, learning how to set up your MetaMask, learning how to send stuff around. You can read books or you can watch YouTube videos all day, but doing it is the best thing. So you're doing a little bit here and there. And also that saying, teach what you need to learn. So as soon as you learn more than the next person, make a tutorial on it or teach someone how to do it. So you're obviously kind of like learning how to simplify it for newbies, like you've been doing already.
That's exactly what I did with the discourse videos. So yeah, and Totally agree. Super hands-on, and just like I said, I was watching a few of your streams, just to figure out kind of the layout of what we'd be talking about today and stuff. And like, just the more that I watched, I'm just like starting to get so excited about this, and it's gonna be so fun. And I just can't wait for everything to come out and all work together. And that's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be really exciting. Like, you never have to sell, and obviously I'm biased, right? I'm on the LiquidLoans team, but you never have to sell your coins. And just going back to what you said before about the collateral ratio, you're right. 1,000%, you'd need the market to retrace by up to 89% before you're up for liquidation. And how often does that happen? I mean, I think Hex took a 70 something, right? Did it hit? Maybe it was 80% at one point, and that took what, 6 months?
Yeah.
So unless you shut your computer, locked it in a cupboard and didn't check it for half a year, you're going to be fine as long as you keep an eye on the market. And if the market starts to move against you, you can pay back some of your loan or add more collateral.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'm totally excited about it. And I think most people that are willing to do anything with their money in crypto are going to be on the cautious side, and constantly be checking that to make sure that doesn't happen. But I'm always just like, well, what if let's go all the variables here. What if this happens? But yeah, I know, I think that would be obviously like almost impossible to happen, that quick if you are collateralized that much. So
yeah.
I'm not one to give financial advice by any means, but that's my game plan, is to be 1,000%.
Yeah, that's really safe. I mean, even as long as you're over 150%, now, of course, the higher the better. You can never, because at some point the system could go into something called recovery mode, where if there's less collateral than the system likes, it goes in, which is under 150%, it starts taking it. Vaults under 150% collateral ratio can be liquidated or can lose some of their pulse. So as long as you're over 150%, even in recovery mode, you wouldn't lose your pulse. But of course, 200, 300, 500, 1,000. I mean, the haunted strategy looks, really foolproof, and the numbers don't lie. And if you had a lot of people doing that, then who knows what could happen to the price of pulse.
For sure. Just to constantly be pumping it, buying it. Yeah, I like it. I mean, if that's, I can spend my own money to pump my own bags. This is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You use the network and suddenly you're pumping your own bags. So you use PulseX is going up. You're using PulseChain is going up. You're, using, if you've got the loan token and you're staking that in the LiquidLoans protocol, every time even yourself takes a loan or pays back a bit of a loan or whatever, you're getting a bit of that fee as well. So
For sure.
yeah, it's a nice never ending cycle of financial freedom.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, who comes up with all this? I'm glad y'all did it. I'm glad I was invited.
Galaxy brains.
Right.
Also, what's going to be exciting is not only do we have, LiquidLoans where you can use your Pulse as collateral, but so many people who sacrifice for PulseChain are Hexicans, right? They have that delayed gratification mindset. They're not going to sell after a 5x or a 10x. They're here for thousands of X.
Yeah, I think that's really exciting too. We've already been well trained on doing that. So yeah, it's no problem. It's just crazy. And then I'll see like these charts or projections of where people think, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of moon boys out there just spewing numbers, but just to see like what other stuff that has launched has done. And it's just wild to think about. But I initially got into Hex hoping I could pay off like some credit card debt. Now I'm like looking at mansions on Zillow, so just it's crazy what 1 year can do.
That's gone from a 0 to 100 real fast.
I know. Yeah, so.
But it's the only asset class where you're going to see thousands of X.
My bag's 15 years, so but I'm just excited.
A very, very exciting time. So what about you anyway? For 2022, what are your goals? Just to sit back and watch your bags increase? What else have you got on the horizon?
Well, that's my main goal. Honestly, I'm looking forward to going to PulseCon, meeting up with a lot of the Hexicans in the community, and just
nice.
I don't know. I'm just really excited to see where this is going. I mean, I think, like I said, last year when I got into it, everything was so new. I was still like, didn't even understand what was going on. This time around, I have a lot better understanding and just seeing kind of things, not just tunnel vision on like the Hexican community, but just the bigger picture of like what's going on, like just with crypto in general and, DeFi, and just seeing everything like moving this way. It really is crazy. Like things have changed just so much in the past, a couple years. I think someone gave me a stat, which I didn't fact check it, so I don't know if it's true or not, but like half the people like in crypto, like everybody that's in crypto just got in like in the past year or two. Like everybody that's in it, just got in like kind of recently, and it's just that many people just got in recently. Like what's to say it's going to look like in 5 years, and we're still like kind of pioneering. Even though I feel late to the game, it's still like so early just to see where this whole thing is going.
Oh yeah, it's a fraction of the population hold crypto. So, and it's not going away, right? Who wants to, like, for example, if you want to send me money, how annoying is it that we have to go to a third party, to a bank, and then they say, well, why are you sending this? And who's this to? You know what I mean? It's like, listen, I want to send my friend $100 or whatever. So the fact that you can send $100 or $100 million or $1 billion, through the internet in seconds is, and of course, when you're getting like 6 or 7% return on the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq, and that happens on a Tuesday morning in crypto, it's inevitable. It's growing every year. If you look at the adoption curve of crypto, it's like the internet in the early 90s, and we're still in the early 90s basically. So
yeah, that's what I feel like, and that's a really good comparison. It's just so wild to think about. Like I don't even think like I can fathom what it's going to look like, in the next few years, but definitely excited to sit back and watch it happen.
100%. When you hear Hex has done 10,000x and Bitcoin's done a 6.9 million x, it's like, yeah, just don't try and get too cute. Everyone watching at home, when the mainnet goes live, obviously, there's some basic tenets I think that everyone should do, and obviously do your own research, not financial advice, but staking with a validator is good. Staking your PulseX and the single-sided staking pools on the PulseX exchange will be good. Staking your loan token will be good. Putting money in the stability pool on the LiquidLoans protocol will be good. These are things that you're not going to lose. They're not going to be in permanent loss or anything. But trying to jump into this dog coin every couple of hours and swap and this and that, especially before the bridge goes live, it could get pretty hairy. So be
absolutely
careful. Awesome. So listen, before I let you go, I do appreciate your time. I've got 8 quick fire questions that I do with all my guests now, just to find out a bit more about you. Are you up for
it? Sure.
So you can give me, the answers can be from 1 word to 1 sentence. That's it. Okay, cool. Here we go. Best piece of advice you were ever given?
Oh man. Don't eat yellow snow.
That's a good one. That leads into my next one, which obviously isn't yellow snow. What's your favorite food?
Steak. And sushi.
It's a hard one. First ever crypto you bought?
Hex.
Wow. Biggest celebrity teenage crush?
Ooh, Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure you weren't watching his acting. Number 1 piece of advice for no coiners?
Research before you make any moves. Make sure you really understand it. I got lucky and just bought Hex because someone told me to, but there's so many other people that have gotten wrecked. So just do your own research. There's so much information out there and resources for you. Just look into everything before you go crazy. That was more than a sentence. I'm sorry.
But that was good advice. I'll let you off. Something that you must do before you die. Something for the bucket list.
I want to go to Greece.
It's very beautiful.
That's my destination, dream destination.
Very beautiful. Worst investment you ever made?
Ooh. I think dance lessons.
And last but not least, advice to your younger self.
Save your money. Save your money while you can. Don't do anything crazy. Don't rack up credit card debt. Save your money so you can invest in crypto later and have more.
It's good. Don't waste money. Spend it on assets that appreciate in value so you can have more money in the future. Awesome.
You don't need that Victoria's Secret outfit.
Exactly. Where can the people at home find out more about you? Or contact you on
Hexpensive
social
Taste
media?
on Twitter. That's mainly my jam. I'm also on Telegram, but don't really get on there too much. But yeah, Twitter. And then maybe I'll come back and start making parody and Discord syndicate videos soon. It's just been crazy, but I'll be back.
Yeah, life gets crazy, but I'm looking forward to seeing you back on Discourse Syndicate and making
Thank
more
you.
content. Cool, cool. Stay in touch, and you'll have to come back on the show at some point, especially when mainnet goes live, and we can talk about
Yes,
more stuff.
I would love to. It was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Sweet. Take care. Speak to you soon.
All right,
Thanks.
bye guys.
Awesome. Definitely go and follow Expensive Taste over on Twitter. Guys, if you like interviews like this about Hex, PulseChain, crypto, all that good stuff, do hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you're notified every time we drop new videos. You can also tap the like button. And if you're watching the playback, drop a cheeky comment below for the algo. It does help us out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.